What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be going over how exactly I think a Reverse Flash origin story could work on the Flash Season 9. And then at the end of the video, guys, I'm going to be breaking down the Season 9 Episode 3 synopsis. So yeah, guys, with the confirmation of Matt Letcher being confirmed to return as Eobard Thawne, Eric Wallace was interviewed and said that they had a really cool story planned for him this season that he said both old and new fans would enjoy. Now, a lot of people think this is going to be a Reverse Flash origin, and I agree. I think this has got to be a Reverse Flash origin story. We've wanted that for so long. But what I really hope they do is I really hope they connect the Reverse Flash origin story to the present day, like present day Season 9, what's happening there. So I really hope Matt Letcher actually returns as Eobard Thawne in the present in Season 9 and becomes a villain once again. Now, guys, I think there are a few ways they could go about doing a Reverse Flash origin story. First things first, I think they could have, maybe Matt Letcher's Eobard Thawne, comes in as a villain to start with, and then, maybe Team Flash captures him and then, puts him in the pipeline. And then, Barry and Thawne are talking, and then Thawne just tells Barry how he became the Reverse Flash. We might get some flash forwards or flashbacks, depending on how you look at it. But we could just have an entire episode of Barry and Thawne talking to each other, and then, just seeing the Reverse Flash origin. I think that would be really cool. Now, how exactly could Reverse Flash come back in order for that to happen? Now, I've had the theory for a while, you guys have definitely heard me talk about this before, that the version of Reverse Flash from Season 2, Episode 11 could return, and that's because we don't know, he was obviously thrown back into the future in that episode, and he was the one who had not yet killed Barry's mother. We would know, obviously, he would go on to kill Barry's mother sometime later in his life, but we don't know what happens in between him getting thrown into the future and him killing Barry's mother. So who knows, maybe his return in Season 9 is what happens in between that point. I think that's definitely possible, and that's a way they could say Matt Letcher's Reverse Flash could return. But me personally, the way I'd really like them to bring him back is if they, just come up with some timeline BS and say, oh, the Wells version of Thawne is dead, which means the original Eobard is revived. I think that could be pretty interesting. And the reason I want that is because the scene where he would retrieve his memories would be one of the best scenes in The Flash, most likely. So let's say he just, retrieves his memory, he realizes that he's supposed to be a villain, and that's when we would see the Reverse Flash origin story, him realizing who he is and remembering his origins. I think that would be a great way to show the Reverse Flash origin story. Somebody actually commented this theory on my video, my last video, so I'll put that up on screen if I can find it. But yeah, that's a great theory, and I really think that would be the best way to go about it. So yeah, that's how they could, show a Reverse Flash origin story with those different strategies. But how what exactly would the Reverse Flash origin contain? What would it be about? Because we've had 3 different origin stories about the Reverse Flash on the show. So it's going to be really interesting to see, what Eric Wallace chooses. If you guys remember in Armageddon episode 5, I believe it was, of season 8, we hear about a little bit more of Reverse Flash's origin, where somehow Barry travels to the future and steals Reverse Flash's thunder, and that's one of the reasons why Reverse Flash hates Barry. So could we be seeing that this season? I think that would be pretty interesting. Obviously there's been tons of other Reverse Flash origins, like in Season 2 episode 11 Reverse Flash explains an origin, in Season 1 episode 23 Reverse Flash explains an origin. It's just 3 different origins, so it's going to be interesting to see if they combine the origins or just completely just disregard 2 of the origins. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do there. Now, here's exactly how I would at least go about a Reverse Flash origin. I'd say Eobard Thawne is a scientist who works at the Flash Museum and idolizes the Flash and wants to get speed like the Flash. So he does an experiment that actually works. He gets speed by, at first, just tapping into the normal Speed Force until, he becomes a quote-unquote hero. In the comics, at least, he, makes crimes himself and then stops the crimes himself, so he can just get all the glory. So I think they could definitely do something like that on the show as well. Until we have this Barry time traveling to the future and stealing Reverse Flash's thunder. That, in turn, prompts Reverse Flash to create the negative Speed Force because, he's starting to really hate the Flash. And then through time travel, he could find out that he is supposed to be the Reverse Flash, the arch nemesis of the Flash. So I think that's, a little bit of how they could go about the Reverse Flash origin. And yes, guys, I know they said in Season 8 that Reverse Flash just tapped into the negative Speed Force instead of creating it. I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't know why they said that, because in the comics, Reverse Flash literally created the negative Speed Force. In the comics, Barry Allen created the Speed Force when he got struck by lightning. So I think they really need to change some stuff up there. So if they do that for this Reverse Flash origin, I think that would be perfect. But anyways, yeah, guys, that was just, you know, how I think they could combine a few of the origin stories to create one big Reverse Flash origin story that I think would be pretty cool. But anyways, here we go. We got the Season 9, Episode 3 synopsis, which reads, Barry and Iris start to put together the pieces of what's happening in Central City and believe they know what the rogues are after. Team Flash works together and recruits some unlikely allies to help, and the plan does not go as Team Flash expects. Meanwhile, Allegra does her best to avoid having a conversation with Chester. So yeah, we're just going to start off with the elephant in the room. Who cares about Allegra and Chester? Why are they still getting storylines? They're not interesting characters. Nobody else likes them besides Eric Wallace. I don't know what he's thinking here. So yeah, I'm not exactly looking forward to that part of the episode. But yeah, the rest of the synopsis isn't like a ton of new information. We just find out that, you know, Barry and Iris start to figure out what's going on in Central City with the rogues, and the rogues are obviously after something, most likely because of what Red Death wants them to do, who's most likely going to be leading them. And Team Flash works together and recruits some unlikely allies to help. This is obviously going to be like some ex-rogues. We're going to have, you know, like the Hotness, Pied Piper, and Goldface. So those are the characters that I believe they're going to be talking about here. Of course, there could be other characters that return in this episode, but I believe that's who at least they're referring to in the synopsis. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as your thoughts on a Reverse Flash origin story. What else do you guys think could happen with that? Do you guys think they're going to do a Reverse Flash origin story? And yeah, also your thoughts on the Episode 3 synopsis. What else do you think might happen in the episode and the season? And I'll see you guys in the next video.